Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing great. If you're new here, welcome. Please feel free to make yourself at home, and I hope you love it here and you are more than welcome to stay. So today's video is going to be different from my usual kind of content. I usually do DIYs. I basically show you how to refashion things in your closet and just add new life to them. And I did make this stop from a blackout curtain, but today's video is going to be, I wanted to sit down and have a discussion with you. I am really nervous to do this, but let's just dive right in. So I'm getting married. I got engaged a while back, and when I got engaged, it was the most beautiful engagement ever. It was amazing. It was everything I dreamed of. It was intimate, it was personal, it was thoughtful, it was amazing. I'm not gonna post it, so don't worry. At the beginning of the year, I wanted to share this piece of good news with my followers, and I posted a picture on Instagram, I posted a picture on YouTube, and he also got a video of the proposal, which was amazing. Like, he told me we were taking Instagram pictures, but we were not. He got down on one knee and proposed. It was a complete surprise for me, best day of my life. And he had this little video. So he shot the video on his phone. And immediately I posted the picture on Instagram and YouTube. It's as if the YouTube algorithm knew I'd just gotten engaged. So I got bombarded with YouTube surprise proposal videos. I got flooded with pictures of people who just gotten engaged. And I was on a high. I just gotten engaged, best day of my life, and I was on cloud nine. You couldn't tell me anything. But when we came back home, settled back into things, and I wanted to post this little video just to share that, hey, your girl's engaged, I started to see all these other perfect proposals on YouTube. So, despite me feeling so high, so happy, so wonderfully excited about getting to spend the rest of my life with this man, I found myself thinking my proposal video is imperfect. It was literally shot on a phone. I was mostly screaming. I was not dressed like someone who expected a proposal. My nails are not done. And I started seeing these videos of people who looked like goddesses. They had the dress, the nails, the shoes, the hair, and they looked amazing in their proposal videos. The angles, there was even a drone capturing their proposal. And I remember thinking, damn, mine's not as amazing as that. It's not as perfect as that. So why should I share mine? It feels really ordinary compared to all these wonderful videos I'm seeing on here. And that is how I ended up just keeping the video to myself. When I shared the picture, that was it. I didn't share anything more about my proposal. And it's because I felt like mine wasn't Instagram worthy. Mine wasn't YouTube worthy. And that is because I saw all these perfect proposals. And even recently, I remember seeing Kourtney Kardashian getting engaged, and it was this whole thing. And I don't know, I was kind of like, wow, everyone just seems to know when they're going to get engaged and they are ready to be engaged. So that is when I found myself comparing. And more than 100 years ago, Theodore Teddy Roosevelt, the 26th president of the United States, said that comparison is a thief of joy. And I can tell you that that statement has been churning in my mind because of the proposal, and because in general, I've been feeling I've been feeling a lot of emotions, and I feel like I'm not doing good enough. I am 26, and people my age seem to be having kids. They seem to have it together. They seem to be planning the perfect weddings. They seem to be having homes. And I'm just here, just getting by, trying to figure life out, really. So I don't know. I'm so scared to say that because my proposal was amazing and I wouldn't change it for the world. But this comparison thing had me feeling some type of way. I decided I would take a break from Instagram, and I've not been uploading as much on YouTube, and it's just a lot that's been happening. So I just wanted to open with that. And as we dive in, I did look into why we compare ourselves to other people. I looked into flex culture. I looked into social media and how it affects our mental health and our body image. And I will give you at the end some tips I've been implementing to help make social media a better space for me. And I still struggle. I am struggling, but I am trying. So I really hope you find some of the tips helpful. So having opened with that, let's dive into comparison and why we compare ourselves. So in 1954, yes, I'm going to get a bit historical, but stay with me. I promise you it's going to make sense. So in 1954, social psychologist Leon Festinger developed, or rather popularized, the social comparison theory. And in his theory, he said that, is that how you say that? Theory? I don't know, it sounds weird now that I keep saying it. So in his social comparison theory, he argued that human beings have an it's in us. We have an innate desire to assess how we're doing by continually comparing ourselves to other people. So when we compare, we see our progress, we see how we're doing, and it helps us evaluate ourselves, make decisions, and it is overall mostly a good process, or rather it was meant to be. But what he said is there's two types of comparisons, not four, two. And there's upward comparison and downward comparison. So upward comparison is when you compare yourself with people you feel are better than you. So you feel and you see that, hey, she's doing better than me and I'm going to compare myself to her. Whereas downward comparison is when you compare yourself to people you feel that you are better than. So when you see someone and you're like, I'm definitely doing better than them. That is downward comparison. So Mr. Leon established that upward comparison can have a more negative influence on the individual compared to downward comparison. So when we upwardly compare, we can feel overwhelmed because we're seeing all these people doing better than us. We feel inadequate. We can evaluate ourselves poorly. It just has a bad vibe to it. So upward comparison left a lot of people with a lot of negative feelings. So before social media, the comparison would be with people around us. It would be our neighborhood people, our colleagues, our friends. It would be a very small pool of people that you would be comparing yourself to. So for example, if you lived in a neighborhood and the white picket fence and the perfect house, the perfect children was a thing, you would look at your neighbor. Maybe they'd be doing better than you. Maybe they wouldn't. But that would be that. It wasn't that deep. I feel like even at work, if you saw your colleague getting a promotion, it was like, whatever, they're doing them, or you would get a bit jealous, but it wouldn't be you comparing yourself to literally hundreds of people. So my social media is now showing you literally hundreds of people who are your age or they're younger than you, but they're more attractive than you, they're doing better than you, they're making more money, they're standing up for the environment, like Greta Thunberg, who is 18 and she's a climate change activist. And you now have literally thousands of people you can compare yourself to. So this, as you can see, is overwhelming. Like if you're literally comparing yourself with 118-year-olds as an 18-year-old and you see everyone has a Lambo and you're just there binging Netflix, how will this not negatively affect you? It is bound to. You're human. You are going to definitely 100% be affected by this. So our animal brain is wired to take in the environment, and we look at someone, we're like, okay, she has a nice dress, dress, she's got friends, she looks good, so she must have influence, she's stronger, she is just at the top of the pyramid. And when you look at her, this amazing, perfect person, and you see they're doing amazing, much better than you, your brain tends to think that you're at the bottom of the pyramid. So instead of thinking you're actually average, which I can guarantee you most likely you are, but instead of thinking you're average, your brain starts thinking, hold up, I'm at the very bottom of this social hierarchy pyramid. And because I'm at the bottom, I will get eaten. I'm not going to survive. And obviously that doesn't make sense, but our animal brain cannot help but think that this is what's going to happen. And this is why comparison has us in a chokehold. We're never going to stop comparing ourselves. It is literally something we're wired to do. So I feel when I was thinking about this, I feel like some of us, maybe we don't compare ourselves to Kylie Jenner or Jennifer Aniston, the celebrities, but maybe we compare ourselves to the person we went to high school with, or the girl who happened to be on a holiday with us and we exchanged social medias, and now I'm seeing her thriving in Cabo, or she's on a yacht in Dubai, and I am here grinding, trying to make ends meet and pay my bills, and she's out there living her best life. So the comparison is not just happening with celebrities. It could be happening with people you're acquainted with, your friends, anyone. You literally have access to everyone. That is the beauty of social media. We are able to connect with people from all over the world, and this wasn't possible before social media. We're able to keep up with people we'd have drifted apart from, and social media definitely has its advantages. But now, what I'm saying is when you see all these other people thriving, they're buying Birkins, they're in Dubai or the Maldives. It is super expensive to get to the Maldives, but they're doing all these things, and this makes your regular life feel boring. At least I know for me, it makes me feel like my life is really regular. But the thing is, regular life is regular. That is the truth. Not all the time, yachts in Dubai, private jets. Maybe for some people, they do have this very extravagant, lavish lifestyle. I'm obviously not talking about those people. For most of us, life consists of waking up, going to work. Maybe you'll have a Starbucks coffee if you're happy that day, and you will go home at 5. You will make your dinner, maybe hang out with friends, watch Netflix, go to bed, and then you wake up and you repeat it all over again. That is regular life for us. That is life. Let me stop calling it regular life. That is life for most people. So, of course, this life that we live, if all you're doing is grinding to pay your bills, to stay on top of things, to make ends meet, to pay your rent, and you're seeing all these other people going on several holidays a month, they're buying Birkins, they're in Lambos, they're in private jets, their apartment is the most Instagrammable apartment ever, you tend to feel like you are behind. You are not good enough. You are failing. You're not winning this race called life. And I feel like social media has played into the trope of you have to have a passive income that gives you $100,000 a month by the age of 20. We have so many videos here on YouTube telling you how to quit your 9 to 5 because it's a scam and a failure and you shouldn't be doing that. But that is what life for most people is. But social media makes us feel like, actually, maybe there's more to this thing. Maybe I'm failing. Maybe I'm not doing okay. So I feel like I can attest to the fact that social media has sometimes made me feel that I want things that I didn't even want in the first place. Like when I saw Kylie Jenner's closet tour, buying a Birkin became a dream goal of mine. Like I was like, one day I'm gonna buy a Birkin, maybe several, and I'm gonna make it. I'll have made it. If I can buy a Gucci bag, a Louis Vuitton bag, I will have made it. So you start even having goals that were not important to you. Like for me, it really doesn't matter what bag I carry. I do know luxury items exist for a reason, like they're good quality, they last longer, and maybe I would want to buy 1 or 2 bags, but I never want to have a closet full of Birkins. Like I don't see the need to spend I don't have that much money. So that is not a problem I'm currently having. But if I did, I wouldn't see the need to spend literally millions of dollars on bags. Like I would rather do something else. And I'm not judging these people and saying they should be spending their money on getting a house or this. Like to me, buying a bag or having a closet full of Birkins isn't exactly a goal of mine. But I found myself wanting a Birkin. I found myself wanting to be in a Lambo when I see other people online doing that. So social media has also made this thing where it makes you think you want something because this luxury is validated with tweets, likes, comments, retweets. You know, people are like, damn, girl, what did you do? You've made it. You're living the life. So social media validates this kind of lifestyle. And because you want to feel successful, you find yourself wanting this lifestyle, even if you didn't want it, if that makes sense. So when I was researching for this video, I came across Lil Michaela, and she is a CGI influencer. She doesn't exist. She's not real, but she is working with brands. She's telling us where to eat, what to wear, how to do our makeup. Like Michaela is like a real influencer, except that she doesn't exist. So when I looked through Michaela's profile, I was like, dang, a CGI has 3 million followers, and I'm over here with my thousands, and this person literally doesn't exist. I have to admit that when I saw this, I was kind of like, damn, even a CGI is doing life better than me? Like, I was pressed, okay? I was kind of like, okay, now I'm comparing myself to someone who doesn't even exist, and that is clearly a problem. So for most of us, we are constantly comparing ourselves online. And the people who keep posting up their holidays, their bags, their everything, I feel like flex culture has really glorified showing off your material wealth. So we're going to define flex culture, and I'm going to start with defining flexing. So flexing, according to the Urban Dictionary, is showing off your valuables in a non-humble way. So having said that, I would define flex culture as a culture in which it is acceptable or even admirable to show off your valuables in a non-humble way. And flexing has been around for a long time. It wasn't known as flexing. Back then in 1899, Mr. Thorstein Veblen, our boy, okay, our guy, he was an economist and sociologist, and in his book, he defined flexing. Well, he said flexing back then, he defined it as conspicuous consumption. So Mr. Thorstein Veblen, I'm reading this off Wikipedia, he coined the term conspicuous consumption, and it refers to the spending of money on or the acquiring of luxury goods and services in order to publicly, that is conspicuously, display the economic power of one's income or accumulated wealth. So in a simpler way, it is basically buying expensive items in a very visible way, just to show that you got the coin to buy these expensive items. So Mr. Thorstein, he sat down and he saw that, there's a new class of people emerging as a result of capital accumulation during the Second Industrial Revolution. So this new class of people was referred to back then as a nouveau riche, which, I don't know if that's how you say it because I'm not French, but it basically referred to the newly wealthy, meaning they just gotten rich. They had new money, and that is what we know them as today. So in this day and age, new money is the Elon Musks, the Mark Zuckerbergs. These are people who are not born into money, but they've accumulated a tremendous amount of wealth, or wealth, not doesn't have to be tremendous, but they've accumulated wealth as a result of their jobs, and they now have that coin. So I think social media is definitely new money. It didn't exist for a very long time. It's a very recent thing, and people are getting a lot of money on social media now. So social media, I would define as new money as well. So because capitalism, baby, more money in today's society means more success. So you showing off that you have a lot of money makes you feel more successful. It's easy math, baby. Even a child could do it. So yeah, flaunting your success has come in this very extreme form of materialism that we're seeing on social media. I'm just thinking of this post Kylie Jenner had, and she had like 5 Louis Vuitton bags around her on a staircase. And it was captioned with like a heart, and that was it. And she is surrounded by bags that literally cost more than maybe 10 months of my rent. And she's just like, yep, just casual shopping, baby. So this extreme materialism that we're seeing on social media is being done by these people because that's their way of showing off how successful they are in today's society. So even if you're going to say, Matilda, I do not show off my Louis Vuitton bag because I don't have one, or I have one and I don't need people to validate me for it, I feel like showing off also comes with immaterial things. So you show off your bae, your very hot bae, your hot body, your child, your friends. You show off that you've got this good life going, and that makes you seem better than the average next person. So hold up, I'm not saying you're doing it from a malicious place. As I said, it's innately in us to want to feel like we're doing good in society. So even if you're not showing off your private jet in Cabo, you are showing us that I'm booed up, that I've got a child who's perfect and an angel, and look at me, I've got friends. I don't have friends, so when I see someone with 10 friends, I'm like, damn, what are they doing right and what am I doing wrong? So even if you're not showing off material stuff, you're showing off the immaterial stuff, the things money can't buy. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying it's something to be aware of. The showing off can come in form of showing off these things that money can't buy. So now I'm going to talk about peak flex culture era, and this is Jeffree Star.
How much is this bag?
This is 90,000. Hermes crocodile.
90,000 what?
Dollars.
Rice gum.
Yeezy Red Octobers, Fragment 1, Off-White Nike, Yeezys, more Yeezys, more Yeezys, more Yeezys, Off-White Air Maxes, and more Yeezys.
The Paul brothers, Gabi DiMartino, and she's still thriving, honey. So these people made being extremely wealthy part of their brand. Like I remember watching Jeffree Star's closet tour, and he had bags in there that were literally like one bag. I think one of them was $125,000.
What's like the most expensive item you have?
A Himalayan Birkin is pretty expensive. This is a collector's item. They make only a few of these a year. And this is from Hermes. You can hold her.
How much was this?
That is 125,000.
And he said it so casually. And the comments, I feel like back then, this was 2016 to 2019, I feel like people were more casual about flexing. Like we knew these people were showing off. Them showing off was their brand, and it wasn't that big a deal. I remember his closet tour video got a lot of likes, and even in the comments, people are just making jokes about how he can afford to buy a $125,000 bag and someone is struggling to buy McDonald's. So it was like, there was cute banter going around it. People were not, they knew that was flexing, and this person is extremely wealthy, wealthier than I'll ever be, so I'm not gonna be pressed about it. So I feel like as time has gone by, people have gotten over the very flexy, showing off kind of content. And I remember last year when Miss Kim decided to rent out a private island for her family and her, I think it was close family, and the comments were not having it. She did that for her 40th birthday, and people were like, Kim, people are literally dying. Like, what are you doing, baby? You know, people were over this, just showing off and showing people how, look at me, I'm living a much better life than you will ever live. So people were kind of over it. At least that's what I gathered from the comments. When I was researching this video, I did see that people were over this flexing kind of content. And flex culture, just like any good business, has adapted. It has evolved. It's changed with the changing times. So now flexing has become really casual. Like, hey, $1,000 Shein haul. So I'm not exactly saying I've got a closet full of Birkins, but I'm letting you know, and I know you see it, that I'm spending $1,000 on Shein. $2,000 on Shein. These hauls are all over TikTok, all over YouTube, Zara hauls. So on YouTube and TikTok, we've got these $1,000, $2,000 Shein hauls, Zara hauls. Basically, people spending an absurd amount of money at a particular store, more than the average consumer spends on a particular store. What shocks me is some people are able to do this sustainably. Like they are literally uploading $1,000 hauls every other week. And that is not normal. I want you to know that it's not normal to spend thousands of dollars at a particular store every single week, unless you're one, extremely wealthy. And in that case, you do you. Or two, you're driving yourself into massive credit card debt. So yeah, people are doing a lot to stunt for the gram. I'm not saying that the people in debt are doing it for the gram, but I am saying that it's not sustainable to spend $2,000 every week on Shein clothes. And most of these Instagrammers, influencers who buy stuff from Shein at such large volumes are basically going to wear those clothes once or twice and then throw them away. They probably don't want to repeat outfits for Instagram because how dare you repeat outfits? Oh my goodness, how dare you not have more than 5 pairs of jeans? So they post up the cute pictures, the cute TikTok haul, and these clothes really don't last. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify my beef. I have no problem if Shein is all you can afford. We all have different budgets. We all earn different salaries. But my beef is with the people who are over consuming. Obviously, you can do better. You can buy better. So why promote fast fashion? So I wanted to touch on this a bit because I am a content creator. I'm not an influencer. I don't see myself as an influencer. I do this for a living though. I make YouTube videos, and I can tell you from the other side, companies are willing to give us a lot of free products, especially when you have a number of followers. Companies will literally send you thousands of dollars worth of products just for you to feature them in a video because that is free marketing for them. If 5,000 people watch that video and 10 people or 20 people buy their stuff, then that is good marketing for them. So as a content creator, I can tell you most of these people posting this $1,000, $2,000 hauls, most times they are likely sponsored by the company that's, being advertised, or two, they give us coupons. So you get literally hundreds of dollars worth of coupons and you can buy stuff from their website and you don't have to say you use coupons. You can just say it's better. I mean, it is praised to say I spent an X amount of money at this store. No one's gonna say, oh, I bought these on coupons. Maybe some people will, but most don't. So I just wanted to mention that in case you're not aware, companies are willing to give out a lot of free stuff if you have a bit of a following. So it is not uncommon. So now the girl posting up the $1,000 Shein haul isn't Kylie Jenner, isn't Kim Kardashian, isn't a celebrity that is out of reach. It is literally someone your age. They seem to look like you. They seem to be doing the same as you, but they're in a position that they can spend a large amount of money on these clothes, cars, whatever it is that they're showing off, and you can't. So flexing has evolved into this casual format, and I don't think that's necessarily a good thing because that is what has amplified the comparison. Now I'm not comparing myself to Brad Pitt, okay? I am now comparing myself to Miss Jennifer, who seems to have it all together. She's always posting her $1,000 hauls. She's always going to luxury trips to Dubai. She's always in a new wig that is worth $700. So now the comparison is more real because it feels like I'm comparing myself with someone who looks like me. I should be doing the same as them, but they're just able to live a better life than me. So yeah, I feel like flexing evolving into this very casual format isn't a good thing because now the influencer is not the one with 500,000 subscribers. If you have 5,000 followers and a company sends you stuff, you are influencing still. And that is even more real because you are a normal person. You're not a celebrity who we're like, oh my gosh, they're living in their own bubble. You look like me. So I'm going to be like, okay, she's spending $1,000 on Shein. I need to spend $1,000 on Shein, you know? So the comparison has really, really gotten real. So the next bit, I'm going to talk about social media and mental health. And I have to give a trigger warning. If mental health chat makes you uncomfortable or it triggers you, I advise you skip to the timestamp that I'm gonna put on screen. Your mental health is very important and it's not worth it to watch a video that will trigger you. So yeah. So with social media, we have now established that people are always posting the positive stuff. They're always posting the good stuff. And what this does to us is we feel as a consumer, you're consuming this content and you are literally bombarded with all these people who seem to be doing so much better than you. They're younger than you or they're your age, but they seem to have it all figured out or they just seem to be living a really, really good life. Whereas you yourself seem to just be below average. As we said, when you compare yourself to these people, you feel like you're way below average. So with social media, and as I said, with flexing becoming more casual and social media becoming more casual, like some of us may not know that social media is curated. Like the girl on Instagram doesn't look like the girl on Instagram. I don't look like myself on Instagram. I'm always dolled up. I know my angles. I know my poses. And I know what goes behind the picture. Maybe because I do this for a living, but for someone else, they might not know that these images are edited, they're curated, they're posed, they have the best lighting, they have photographers, they have every single thing working in their favor to get that one Instagram photo, and you're comparing it to their regular selfie that so much work hasn't gone into. On social media, you only see a minute of someone's day. Like a photo is a minute of my day. I could spend 5 hours doing my makeup, getting the right outfit, and I snap a picture, post it, I get out of my makeup, get out of my hair, get out of my clothes, and you are scrolling social media in your pajamas and you see this perfected photo of me and you can't help but think, they look so good. Look at me right now. I'm a bum. Why aren't I living it up? Why aren't I pretty enough? Why am I not as clever, So you are constantly, I guess, being shoved down your throat that you're not good enough. You need to be good enough because you're not already. But thing is, you are. I'm here to tell you, just as you are enough. So I feel like this chasing perfection definitely does have a toll. It takes a toll. And I can say for myself, it has taken a toll. Like, I do not look like my Instagram. I don't look like this half the time, okay? And I feel especially, I don't know if this is normal, but as a content creator, I feel a lot of pressure because you have to look a certain way. You have to behave a certain way. You have to have a certain lifestyle. And I find myself thinking, if only I had this, then maybe I would be as good enough as X person, and I constantly find myself chasing perfection because people who are doing my job seem to be perfect and I'm not. And when I show imperfection, which I don't, to be honest, because I'm scared that in this job, showing imperfections is not, it's not fun for anyone. I feel like when I see all the other content creators and how well they're doing, and even with my job, like when I see someone is uploading 5 times a week and I'm here struggling to put out a video in 2 weeks because I'm going through a really rough time in my life, I end up being so hard on myself. And I did get to a point where I had to start therapy. Like I was 100% depressed. Like I constantly compared myself to other people on here, on YouTube, on Instagram. And I constantly thought, I'm not good enough to be a content creator. I'm not good enough to be making videos. I'm not good enough to show up. And it started like making me, want to get out of bed. I was literally crippled by the fact that I wasn't good enough to show up for my own job. So I can say that the comparison thing, I've 100% felt it. And I just hope if you feel it too, just know you're not alone. This is something that I'm still figuring out. I am in a much better mental health space because of therapy, and I am limiting how much time I spend on social media. At least I'm trying to, until I am rigid and strong enough to just not be so susceptible to comparing myself and feeling shit about myself. So yeah, and I feel like with online, when you post stuff, there's also the possibility of getting bullied. And like when you create videos for a living, there's going to be a lot of people on the internet. A lot of people have different opinions, and sometimes those opinions are not the nicest ones. So when I post here and I'm getting your feedback on stuff, most of the comments are positive. But this is the internet. There's going to be people who don't like you for some reason. There's going to be people who constantly comment about things you're not even aware of. I've had people comment a lot about my voice. I've had people comment about my dark elbows. I've had people comment about things I wasn't even aware of that weren't good enough. But this started to take a toll on me. Like just having a couple of people tell you that, hey, your voice is freaking annoying. It's like nails on a chalkboard. And I found myself thinking, damn, do I need to change the way I speak as well? So yeah, this space has definitely taken a toll on my mental health. And whew, that was not easy to talk about. But that's just one of the aspects that social media has been affecting my mental health. And when I was researching for this video and I saw that I wasn't the only one who feels like this because of social media, at least it made me feel like I'm not alone. It did feel like I was alone. And when I sought therapy, it also reminded me that, hey, your feelings are valid, how you're feeling is normal, and it helped me work through some things. So I would highly recommend seeing a mental health professional if you feel like you're struggling because you're constantly comparing yourself. Or even if you're struggling and you feel like you definitely have some mental health problems, don't be scared to seek help. I guarantee you it will help. So now I'm going to give another trigger warning because we're now going to speak about body image issues. So if body image talk makes you uncomfortable or triggers you, kindly skip to the timestamp on the screen right now. I don't want you to be uncomfortable. I don't want to trigger anyone. That is not the purpose of this video. So kindly skip towards the end, or you can even log off this video if it's too much for you. So I'm going to define body image according to Wikipedia. So body image consists of the way people view themselves, their memories, experiences, assumptions, and comparisons about their own appearances and their overall attitudes towards their own respective heights, shapes, and weights, all of which are shaped by prevalent social and cultural ideals. So body image can either be positive or negative. And I'm sure you've heard of the term body positivity on Instagram. And someone with a negative body image may feel ashamed of themselves. They don't feel confident. They always feel that other people are more attractive than them. Whereas if you have a positive body image, you see yourself clearly, you know who you are, and you know that how you look like doesn't define your worth. So as human beings, I feel like we are our own worst self-critics sometimes. Like we can pick apart so many things about ourselves that we think are not perfect. And social media obviously fuels this fire. So with social media, people are posting up their hashtag body goals, and you get to see that your body looks so much more different than the body that's being appreciated and praised on Instagram or on YouTube or wherever that is. So literally there's thousands of videos on here showing you how to get a bigger butt and a small waist, and how to get abs in 2 weeks, how to fix your back fat, how to fix your arm fat, how to fix your neck fat. Everything fat that you have is wrong and you shouldn't have it, and here's how to fix it. We've got a guide. Here you go. So we are constantly, like, it's being shoved down our throats how we need to chase this ideal body image, this ideal body that is in right now. When you're constantly seeing these perfected images, how can you not feel bad about your regular body that keeps you alive, that got you through a pandemic? How are you supposed to look at it and see Kim's non-existent waist and feel like, yep, that is what a normal body looks like, and mine doesn't look like that. Mine is not as perfect as that. Mine is not as good as that. You are constantly seeing perfection, and people, it's no secret that people edit their photos on Instagram. Like, they face tune their skin, they pull in their waist, they enlarge their hips. There's apps now, and they're free, some of them, that you can use to just alter your photo and have this totally unrealistic version of you exist online, and you look like a completely different person in real life. So in a 2016 study, researchers interviewed 881 female college students in the United States. They found that the more time teens spent on social media, the more they compared their bodies with those of their friends online. Consequently, they felt more negative about their bodies.
I can spend hours on Instagram looking at other girls, and I don't realize how unhealthy it is until I look in the mirror and don't like what I see.
Apps like Instagram and other social media apps definitely cause women to look at themselves differently.
When you're scrolling through your feed and you see, I don't know, like an Instagram model who has a perfect body, or people who look like they have perfect lives,
they cause self-esteem issues, and not only girls but everyone, because it gives you this unrealistic persona of like what your life should be based around, how you should look, what you should be eating, what you should be doing.
So even on Instagram, when you search the hashtag body goals, I think that hashtag has over 11 million posts, and it's literally images of people who look perfect. They have figures to the gods, and you are constantly looking at these images, and you end up feeling dissatisfied with your body that has rolls and curves and all these things. And when you feel my body doesn't look like hers, and hers is being validated with likes, everyone wants that body, how come I don't have that body, you know? And when you're constantly comparing yourself to these perfect images online, sometimes this dissatisfaction can lead to something called body dysmorphia. And I'm going to define body dysmorphia according to the internet. It is a sense of dissatisfaction with one's body and the perception that their body is flawed and defective, even when it obviously isn't.
When we're talking about body dysmorphia on the clinical disorder side of things, we're talking about significant differences in the body image versus what is in the mirror, or what somebody else might see versus what your mind and eyes see. So it's really like looking in a fun mirror where all of these things are accentuated. It's like a caricature. It won't look the same for everyone, but some people may see large knees. Some people may see extra wide hips. Some people may see skin that hangs over when they sit.
So I feel like social media can affect our body image when, let's say you post a picture and you thought you looked cute, you were thriving, you were living your best life, and someone picks apart something about your appearance, and this can make you fixate on that. And I have had this happen to me. So I feel like even here on YouTube, as a woman of color, we do get hyperpigmentation. Some parts of our bodies are darker than others, like our elbows, our armpits, our knees, our groin area can sometimes be darker. And YouTube corporations, people know this. And when you scroll through YouTube, there's literally thousands of videos with millions of views showing you how to lighten your armpits, lighten your elbows, bleach your skin, look different. But something that is human, something that is natural, now becomes something for a company to sell us stuff on. It becomes a flaw that needs to be fixed. It becomes something else that you add onto your ever-growing list of things that you need to fix so that you're perfect, so that you meet societal expectations of perfection. So a few years ago, someone commented on how dark my elbows were, and they proceeded to tell me that I needed to bleach my elbows, that I needed to buy something to fix them. And I remember messaging my partner and telling him, this makes me feel some type of way. I felt absolutely, I want to say, I felt ashamed that my elbows were dark. It's not something I'd done. I shower regularly. I am not dirty. It's not something to be fixed. But someone pointed it out in one of my videos and was like, you need to bleach your elbows. And that comment stuck with me. And I found myself, even for videos, when it needed for me to show the back and I would stand with my hands down, I would make sure they were folded so that you wouldn't see the dark skin on my elbows. So this was affecting me, like whether I liked it or not. This was affecting me. And it's because someone pointed it out to me. It wasn't that I knew it was a flaw, and it's not. Now I know that. I don't care what you think about my elbows. It wasn't a flaw, but it's something someone made something to fix. And I feel like companies on Instagram know this. They know how to bank on our humanness to sell us products. So look at waist trainers. You are told, okay, you just had a baby. You look like you had a baby. You shouldn't look like you had a baby. Here's a waist trainer to fix that. Here is a flat tummy tea that will give you the flat stomach. While you're at it, we have a flat tummy cream that will give you the flat stomach. And we are being sold products all the time to fix our humanness, to fix things that are not supposed to be fixed. There's literally thousands of soaps on the market that are used to target like darker elbows, darker groin areas, darker skin, just to fix that problem. You didn't know it was a problem, but here I am selling you a product that is fixing your problem. And because you are constantly seeing images online of people who look like you, they're your skin color, but they don't have the dark elbows. They don't have the dark underarms, and you do. So a company pushes a product to you to fix your humanness, which is something that shouldn't be fixed in the first place. So I feel like when you post something and someone picks apart something about your appearance, you now get something new to be insecure about. And I remember I saw a tweet from Jackie Aina recently, and she said she never used to do her nails until someone pointed it out in a video, and now she always gets her nails done. Like, something I didn't know was an issue, you point out to me because I posted a cute little picture and you just wanted to be salty. You point out something to me and I'm like, hey, yeah, my knees are a bit darker than everything else. Is that a problem I need to be fixing? So this whole thing, I feel like, is not healthy. There's no way you're going to see yourself clearly and appreciate your body if you're constantly being told to fix it. How could you appreciate your imperfect body when there's always something to fix? So I saw this quote and it really stuck with me. And it said, if people one day woke up and became happy with themselves, imagine how many industries would run out of business. And that hit home. I have bought the waist trainers. I have bought the stuff to just chase that perfection and look like a, hourglass figure. And I bought into that trope. And if I had been okay with how I looked and not constantly compared myself to Kim Kardashian, who's clearly had surgery, by the way, in case you don't know, if I hadn't been fed these images of perfection, then I wouldn't have found something wrong with my perfect body, And same for you, maybe. You look at all these girls online who look different to you, even guys. If you're a guy, you see guys who look different to you and they're being validated, and you feel like this is the standard you should be keeping up with. And chasing the ideal body standard is always going to leave you in this race of chasing the next big thing. I saw this video from BuzzFeed and I will show it on screen. It was literally showing the ideal body images of women throughout the years. I think from like 2,000 years ago and how it's changed. In the 50s, it was Marilyn Monroe. In the 60s, it was Twiggy. And now it is Kim. The hourglass figure. So as women, we're literally a trend. Like our bodies are a trend that comes and goes. And I don't know about you, but when I saw this, I was kind of like, you know what? Screw that. I'm not going to let society define what my body should look like. It's not a trend. Even if you try and make it be a trend, it's never going to be a trend. My body is what helps me experience this thing called life. It has literally gotten me through a pandemic. It shows up for me every day. It wakes up. It goes to the gym. It cooks. It enjoys delicious food. It doesn't cook much. It orders too much on Uber Eats, but it allows me to enjoy food. It allows me to enjoy living life. And I think I've been giving my body a lot of crap for the amount of work it does for me. I really need to start being more grateful for it, So yeah, I just want to say you are good enough as you are. Even if you feel like you don't look like the ideal body standard, most of us don't. On Instagram, I just want you to know there's a lot of posing. There's a lot of posing. We know the angles. We know how to make the booty pop. We know how to make the waist seem thinner, okay? So I want you to know that you're good enough. As you are watching this, as you are sitting at home, you are good enough as you are. And just take a moment and say thank you to your body for getting you here. Like, you are here because it does stuff for you. And how amazing is that? It's just makes me want to hug myself and tell my body, hey, I'm really sorry for all the times that I've underappreciated you, because you do so much for me and I should be more thankful. If you're really struggling with body image issues, I highly recommend you see a professional who can help you work through this and get to the other side. And I also feel like one thing that has really helped me and maybe could help you too is I've been following a lot of body positive influencers. Like, I am done with the perfection on Instagram. I'm now following people like Tiffany Eimer. I am following Saggy Sarah. I am following Dana. I am following just people who show you what real authentic bodies look like. And I feel like when you have that on your feed, it reminds you that you are normal, you are perfect, you're amazing as you are. So I will link some of these women I follow down below, and it has really helped me to see that, hey, I am okay. Bloating is okay. I don't have to be, super snatched all the time, So yeah, it really helps to see realistic body images, and that has been really helpful for me. So I just thought I'd pass that along. So I feel like as a content creator, I have to do a bit of a self-diagnosis here. And I feel like that's what I've been doing the last couple of months. As someone who does this for a living, I have played into the trope of wanting to seem perfect. I can't tell you the number of times I've re-recorded something because it wasn't perfect the first time. I can't tell you the number of times I've not taken a picture because I feel like I'm not Instagram worthy at the moment. And I was for a long time the person who felt like I had to be perfect, because if you're not perfect, how dare you say you deserve this job? And with a bit of space and a bit of therapy and a bit of just trying to be kinder to myself, I am slowly learning that I don't have to be perfect. I'm really trying to just be more realistic, because I feel someone can look at me and say, she has got it all together. She looks like a doll. She looks like this. But I'm also comparing myself to someone else. Like, the funny thing is, you're comparing yourself to me and I'm comparing myself to someone else. Like, it's this very toxic cycle where you think if you look like me, you would be better. And I'm looking at someone else and feeling like, if only I had what they had, if only I looked like them, I would be good enough. Even with this job and even with the number of subscribers I have found myself constantly comparing myself to other people on here with the same amount of subscribers as me, people who are in the same niche as me. They post a video and in a day, they've got like 50,000 views. I post a video and I get like 1,000 in the first day. And it has been getting to me. And I don't want to seem shallow. I don't want to seem very like numbers oriented, because at some point I really didn't care. But I don't know when it became that I have to get 100,000 views for me to feel that this video is worth posting. And it's even gotten to the point that I've considered deleting some videos when they don't do well. So it's been a real struggle. And you can't help but feel shallow when you admit something like that. But that is the reality of what's been happening. It's been feeling like I'm not good enough to do this. And it's gotten to me, and it's something I'm really working through. And I am in a much better space, as I said. Therapy has definitely helped a lot. And I'm learning not to attach too much value to my work. I am learning to have hobbies outside of my work, because that helps me create a good balance. Because what you see here is me sitting down and filming this video, and you think that is the perfect job. But what you don't see is the hours spent researching, editing, and that takes a lot of time. If you don't have a team of editors to help you, editing takes anywhere between 2 days to a week, even more sometimes. And there's definitely mundane parts to this job that you don't get to see. So I am trying to be kind to myself. I'm trying to understand that you are not perfect, and that's completely okay. Like, however you show up is enough. And I really hope I practice what I preach, because I'm really I'm trying to be better, and I'm trying to do better, and I'm trying to just not hold myself to such a perfection standard, so that I'm not always feeling that I'm not good enough, because I am. So yeah, being real and sharing how you feel, how you genuinely feel, and being honest is very scary, especially when you've got eyes on you and there's people who are obviously not going to like it. Some people will attack that and use that to make you feel bad, but I am going to try be more real, because I feel like I shouldn't be saying social media needs more reality and I'm not playing into that. Like, I'm playing into the perfection side. So, yeah. So, I just wanted to give you some tips, having said that, of things I've been doing to help me with my social media. And this helps me not feel like crap every time I log on to Instagram. So the first one that I did for a couple of months is I took an Instagram break. So I was off Instagram for a couple of months. I would occasionally go in, but every time I would log out. I'd be like, I don't want to see whatever's happening. I just want to focus on my own. And I still had YouTube, which didn't help because I saw the people continually posting and living their lives. But having no Instagram for a while really helped me learn to enjoy the things that were happening in my life, instead of always comparing what's happening in my life to what I'm seeing online. So maybe that is something you can try and see if it helps. Just take a bit of a social media break. It doesn't have to be a couple of months. You could start with a day or a few hours and see what happens, see how you feel, and you go from there. So since as human beings, we established at the beginning of this video, we have to constantly compare ourselves, I would say choosing one person, and one person only, not two, one person only, that you feel is genuinely better than you, is genuinely aspirational to you, someone whom has achieved stuff you would like to achieve. Pick that one person, and one person only, Jessica, and compare yourself to that person. Stop comparing yourself to the literal thousands of girls and guys on Instagram. Just that one person. And the person you should always compare yourself to, and it's about to sound really cliche, is a person you were yesterday, a few years ago. Constantly self-check. Constantly compare yourself to yourself. See how far you've come. See the things that used to be a dream for you that are now real. See your wins. See your failures. Really see yourself and pat yourself on the back, because most times you will be doing better than you were a few years ago, or you could be doing worse. And that's also a way to check in and see what needs to be fixed. So compare yourself to only one other person that you aspire to be like, and yourself. And that's it. And when you do this, you define what happiness and success looks like to you. Stop letting Instagram and YouTube and all these things define what success is. If success to you is buying a Birkin, then so be it. But if success to you is having a happy, content life, having an apartment of your own, having food on your table, then let that be your goal. Stop letting social media put in success markers for you. Stop letting social media define what success should be like to you. So start defining success for yourself and see how that changes your life, because most often you find out that you're on the right track and you're doing amazing, sweetie, as Kris Jenner would say. Okay, so the next tip is going to sound very cliche, but that's because it's true. You need to work on wholeheartedly accepting yourself. And I'm still working on this, but I feel like when you accept yourself just as you are, without wanting to change a single thing, you stop comparing yourself to others a lot more. Like, comparison doesn't get as much say in your life as it normally does if you don't feel like you accept yourself as you come. And of course, this is easier said than done. Self-love is a journey that is always going to be full of up and downs. But if most days you are in a position where you feel 100% content with who you are, how you are, your body, your voice, your hair, everything, I guarantee you that the comparisons will get less and less, because you will feel like you're good enough. You will feel like the space you're taking up is worthy. You know, you're valid and you deserve to be here, which you do. Another tip I have is be aware of the triggers that trigger your social media use. So if you're on the subway and your instinct is to just go on Instagram and scroll through, how about you identify that, hey, I'm bored on the subway. I will bring a book. I will bring my Kindle instead. I will listen to a podcast instead. You know, same thing if you're just sitting on the toilet and it's taking a while, instead of scrolling through social media, you can just do something productive. Like, it doesn't even have to be productive. It could just be binging a Netflix show that makes you feel good. So you just do something to replace the constant scrolling, the mindless scrolling, because this is when you take in that information that triggers you and makes you feel not good enough. You don't feel good about yourself. So when you identify that, hey, this is when I mindlessly scroll, just identify something you can replace that habit with, something you can do that doesn't always make you feel like you're not good enough. So just work on identifying what triggers you and then replace that with something that is more beneficial to you. So one thing that has definitely helped me is curating a feed that I feel makes me feel overall positive. Like, I'm following a lot of self-love pages on Instagram now. As I said, I'm following a lot of body positive influencers. So just curate your feed to match how you want to feel. Stop following people who you met years ago and exchanged contacts, but she's always making you feel bad about how your life is panning out. Unfollow them. And even if some friends make you feel bad about yourself, unfollow them. If there's a celebrity that you're constantly comparing yourself to just because they look like you and you know you could be like her someday, unfollow them. Unfollow someone who is not good for your mental health, your body image, how you feel about yourself. If they are making you feel some type of way, stop feeling bad that you feel bad about feeling bad that this person has such a good life. Unfollow them. It is your Instagram feed. It is your YouTube. It will adapt to you and what you want to see. So make sure you're only interacting with content you want to see more of. And the people you feel are not bringing good vibes into your life, unfollow them. And even if they're friends in real life, if you see them, just explain to them that this is triggering for me, and true friends will understand. People who care for you and love you and want the best for you will understand when you tell them, hey, this is really triggering for me. I can't follow you, but you know, in real life, I love you. I appreciate you. I feel like it's also very mature for someone to understand that. So stop following people just because you feel like you have to, just because you should be happy for them. If you're not happy for them, if all they're making you feel is negative about your life, then unfollow them. Even if that's me, unfollow me. Like, your mental health, how you feel about yourself is top priority. Everything else comes second. If it's not good for you, then baby girl, you better be hitting that unfollow and unsubscribe button immediately. Immediately, ma'am. So my last tip is going to be a very random one. And this is a documentary that came out, I think, 2 years ago or last year. I think 2 years ago. It's a social dilemma documentary, and it's basically people who used to work for Facebook, people who used to work for Google, and these people don't even allow their children to use social media. And with that documentary, you get to see how these apps are designed to make you addicted to them. They're designed to sell your attention. Like, there's literally something called the attention economy, which is where they sell your eyeballs, not literally, but they sell the fact that you're seeing a certain ad or a certain product or a certain thing to companies. Like, you are literally a good that these companies are selling. So when you see the Social Dilemma documentary, when you watch it, you get to see the behind the scenes and what goes into these apps. And I feel like that can be really helpful in making you aware of how to use these apps and how to be more aware of, hey, this is what they're designed to do. They're designed to be addictive. They're designed to make me compare myself. They're designed to fuel this and make me buy stuff, you know? So when you see it from the other side, it helps you take a step back and be like, whoa. So this is what's been happening. So I highly recommend you watch the Social Dilemma documentary if you haven't, and if you have, give it another watch. I think I might watch it again as well. So we've come to the end of this video, and I feel so much better having talked to you guys about this, and I hope it felt like a chat. If you do have anything to add to this discussion, please feel free to write it in the comment section down below, and I will be responding to every comment, because we are here to have a discussion and I've got time. I'm not getting like literal thousands of comments that I can reply to you. I want to have a discussion with you. I want to know your thoughts on everything I touched on today. Please feel free to share. I know it's scary to share, but if a lot of us share, then we will feel safe and we'll feel like, you know, this is how it's meant to be. So I am encouraging you to join the discussion. And yeah, I hope I didn't blabber on too much. I know that this is my first time making such a video. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in my next one. Until then, bye.